Right, next instalment of The Ice Monster. Hope you enjoy it.
Hello.
If you remember from the last one, I can't remember. Oh yeah, she just was trying to get into the Natural History Museum and she'd hidden behind the Queen's carriage, and then the Queen's carriage pulled off and just left her. She was sat there and everybody could see her, so she wasn't hidden at all. Bit of a disaster. Chapter 11, The Human Net. Ah-ha-ha! The crowd outside the Natural History Museum all laughed when the little urchin was revealed hiding behind the air. The policeman looked around in confusion. There! The crowd pointed at the girl, and eventually the policeman saw what was right under their noses. They formed a circle around this uninvited guest and began closing in on her. Having lived on the streets, Elsie was no stranger to running away from the police, or the rozzers, as those who spent most of their time running away from the police called them. The policemen crouched down and stretched out their arms, sure that she would try to escape by running through their legs. We've got you, growled the Chief of Police, Commissioner Barker. He was a heavy man with a postage stamp of a moustache stuck over his top lip. The circle was closing. The policemen linked arms to make themselves into a human net. There was no way out. Spotting the truncheons dangling from their belts, a daring thought crossed Elsie's mind. Just as the policemen were looming over her, she grabbed two of the truncheons with each hand, yanking them as hard as she could. This brought the policemen crashing towards one another, their heads knocked together. Bish, bash, bosh, ow, oof, ah! Dazed and confused, the policeman tumbled backwards and collapsed into the crowd. From above, the scene looked like a flower, with Elsie at the centre and the policemen all splayed out petals. This brilliant move by the urchin instantly won over the crowd, and they cheered. Hurrah! No one wanted to see an army of policemen win against this little mite. However, there was no time to lap up the attention of the crowd. Elsie darted up the steps towards the entrance of the Natural History Museum. Another squad of policemen stood guard in front of the huge wooden doors. They drew their truncheons ready to give this little creature a ruddy good bashing. Not wanting to receive a bashing, be it good or a bad one, neither sounded appealing, Elsie slid down the handrail. To one side of the building entrance was a drain pipe. There was no time to think. What with her monkey feet, Elsie was soon halfway up it. Hurrah! Cheered the crowd once more. One bold policeman gave chase up the drain pipe, but not being blessed with monkey feet, he instantly slid back down. Whiz! Ah! At the bottom, he landed right on top of another policeman's face. Boing! Phew, complained the one whose nose was now stuck up the other one's rear end. Needless to say, this perfect piece of slapstick was greeted by howls of laughter from the crowds. After her, you fools! Barked Barker. Right away, Commissioner, sir, said one. Form a ladder, ordered the Commissioner. How are we going to do that? Heaviest at the bottom. That's very kind of you, sir. Barker fumed. His tiny moustache twitched. I am not part of the ladder. I'm in charge. Now, the heaviest at the bottom, and then the next heaviest, and then the next, and so on, and so off. The policemen all started arguing amongst themselves. No one wanted to be at the bottom. I'm the lightest. No, I'm the lightest. You're the heaviest by far. I've lost weight. You still look fat. I've just got a round face. She's getting away, thundered Barker. The girl was nearing the top of the drain pipe. The Commissioner took charge of this human ladder, quickly ordering who went where. Soon the policemen were reluctantly climbing on top of one another. Needless to say, this amateur acrobatics act immediately came crashing down to the ground. Oof! Ouch! Ah! Eek! Help! Someone's trodden on me bits! The crowd whooped and cheered at this brilliant piece of entertainment. Hurrah! By this time, Elsie had reached the roof of the museum. She took a moment to acknowledge her adoring audience and gave them a little bow. Then the crowd burst into wild applause. Yes, she's done it! Go, go, go! The little girl hurried over the sloping roofs to the far side of the building, her monkey feet gripping the lead. For a moment she looked over the rooftops of London and she felt immortal. However, when a tile slipped from under her, she suddenly felt distinctly mortal. The tile exploded to the ground. Instantly, Elsie slammed down onto the roof, thud, and began sliding down it at speed. Ah! The girl rolled over in a desperate attempt to grab onto the roof. Just as she was about to fly off, she managed to hook her fingers around the guttering. However, Elsie was going so fast that she just swung herself forward. Her fingers unhooked and she felt herself hurtling through the air. No! Chapter 12. Saber-toothed Teeth. Elsie flew forward and burst through a stained glass window. She rolled down some stone steps before landing on top of a glass cabinet that housed a skeleton of a saber-toothed tiger. Elsie came down with such force that the sheet of glass on which she landed began to crack. Like a shaft of lightning splintering through the sky, the crack shot across the glass. Bing! For a split second, the glass panel on top of the cabinet misted over as it became 1,000 tiny pieces. Elsie knew exactly what was going to happen next, but was powerless to stop it. She gulped. The glass crumbled beneath her, and Elsie fell into the cabinet, landing on the back of the saber-toothed tiger. Crunch! Oof! Now the girl was trapped inside the glass cabinet, and what with all the noise from the window smashing, she was sure to have drawn attention to herself. If only there was some way of breaking one of the glass walls, but they were inches thick. However hard she thumped them with her fists, they just wouldn't break. Feeling that there was little chance of the saber-toothed tiger skeleton missing it, she pulled out one of its saber-toothed teeth. With an almighty swing of her arm, she bashed the sharp end of the tooth against the glass. Bonk! Smash! Immediately it splintered into tiny pieces of glass which showered down like rain. Not needing the tooth anymore, Elsie stuck it back where she'd found it and patted the saber-toothed tiger skeleton in thanks. Good boy. The sound of the footsteps echoed along the corridor. Click, clack, click, clack, click, clack. It must be the museum's head of security, Mr. Clout. Elsie knew she had to make a run for it. Having no shoes on her feet, she carefully stepped over the pieces of broken glass and charged off down the corridor, staying close to the walls and keeping out of the light, something she had learnt from the rats at the orphanage. She found a balcony overlooking the main hall. From the top of the top floor of the museum, Elsie looked down to the historic scene. And that's the end of that part of the Ice Monster. I shall look forward to reading you the next bit. Hope you enjoyed it. Take care. Bye.